So I'm going to take you through our presentation today alongside Simply Dynamics on improving customer experience and business processes with integrated e-commerce. My name is Alex Jennings-Temple, and I'm the Partner Alliance Manager here at Sana Commerce. I've been with Sana for over a year, but I've worked with SaaS solutions, software solutions for over 13 years, but mainly in the sort of finance industry. And basically, my role is to help Willie and the team at Simply Dynamics support you guys, their customers, with their e-commerce requirements as and where I can. So what we're going to cover off today, we're going to cover off interface versus integrated solutions, how integrated e-commerce will benefit your business, improving your customers' buying experience with personalization, and how you can leverage your existing data to power your web store. So none of these are in any kind of specific order, so I'll be covering off the main points as we go through today. I do have quite a few slides, so I know we've got a lot to get through in the next sort of 35 odd minutes. I am going to be delving into the product as well. And for those of you who have seen Sana in the past, a lot of the things I'm talking about today are all around our new product that we launched last year, which is Sana Commerce Cloud. So that's the product I'll be showing, and a lot of the kind of some of the functionality and things like that are things that we've updated in the solution. So really just a tiny little bit really about Sana. Sana was born back in 2008 off the back of we did have a sort of a sister company who had a lot of B2C e-commerce consultants, and we were using Magento as a solution. And we were getting a lot of B2B customers coming to us asking for specific functionality, and what we found is a lot of our customers now and a lot of customers then were basically kind of had niche products or complex products, and a lot of them were market leaders in what they do. And they found they had a very successful offline business, and that business had been built on referrals and recommendations, and e-commerce had always been a challenge because they just found it difficult to take the success of that offline business and project that in an online environment. And because of our B2B functionality and how we started the company, that is how we've managed to help our customers be successful within that journey. Change can always be a challenge, around e-commerce, and Sana generally works with customers who might be on their second, third generation of a web store. We do have customers who come to us who may have launched a standalone web shop years ago, whether that be Shopify or another maybe bespoke solution, and they're looking for something that mainstream solutions can't offer with regards to integration and actually getting more functionality and being able to offer customers a more sort of omni-channel experience will come to us, because a lot of the time those sort of mainstream platforms lead to compromises, and generally that is because they are interfaced rather than integrated. So what we mean by that is when it's an interface solution, there's not many fully integrated solutions out there on the market. So even if you come across a solution and they say they have integration, it's because what they've done is basically built various API interfaces between Nav or Business Central with the web store, and those have to be managed individually, they have to be maintained. And what you find is you have to rebuild all of that ERP data in the web store, and it can be quite a time-consuming and costly process to actually keep that in place. And when you change the ERP or update the ERP, then a lot of the time those APIs have to be upgraded as well. Again, it's just a more complex way of actually getting information out of your existing system into the new solution. And these sort of things can cause challenges, and that they're generally silos. So those typical platforms are built separately from the ERP. So some of you might have a solution like that at the moment and have an interface, and you think, well, actually no, it synchronizes and pulls that information too. Some of them can work well, we know that, because obviously, we come across a number of solutions out there, but we have customers come to us who have reported delays in the data being synchronized, which can cause some massive issues, because when we're thinking of business critical data, as in the data that you use on a day-to-day to run your business, then things like pricing, stock levels, customer information, all this type of business critical data needs to flow through straight away. And if there's delays, then it can cause a problem on orders, which, like we said earlier, when you've built your business on successfully providing that service and referrals, recommendations, you don't want unhappy customers because we're trying to move them onto an online platform. So that is where we can come in. So the issue is not all the data in one system is available in the other. Not all the functionality of one system is available in the other as well. It needs to be synchronized between the two systems, and the changes generally have to be made twice in the ERP and in the e-commerce platform. So I think the key point there is, managing the data in disparate systems can really cause errors, and changes have to be made twice, which I'm sure you can understand is not great when it comes to processes within the business. And that's where we come in. So that's where we can help you basically utilize and leverage your existing ERP data to power your web store and actually have that solution work as one solution out there. We plug straight into the ERP solution, and that's what makes us different. So we are basically built for Microsoft and SAP. We've got the three major real benefits for that for you. It basically allows you to provide your customers with complete convenience, as in, all of that data is there, and for you guys, you just have to manage that one solution. It's reliability, because we only use the data that's in the ERP, so it means, like I said, only that needs to be managed in one place, which means it can cut down errors, and it allows you to evolve the business as well, because if you're growing, and a lot of our businesses are growing, then you can make all of those changes within your main business solution, and that will just update in the web store as well. So it just allows you to continually manage those relationships that you built your business on, by using that integration. So that's where Sana will basically just plug in to Dynamics or Business Central, and we have a quick, smart integration between the two solutions, and you only need to manage the data in one place. So it basically eliminates those silos, the complexities around the API interfaces, and compromising different areas of your business. And when we talk about compromises, I think when you're looking to offer that omni-channel experience, like I think we're finding this a lot now, where our business was very much born on B2B, but a lot of our existing customers and new customers are actually looking for a solution for B2C and B2B. It tends to be, well, the B2B can do that quite well, but it's not great on B2C, and vice versa. So you have to think, well, which one's best, and trying to make compromises within the business. Whereas the way we're moving our product towards, and the new version we've just released, is really to be able to offer the best sort of overall channel experiences we can do. So basically, all of the data in Sana is available in e-commerce platform in real time. So any changes come through straight away. All the ERP functionality, we've got 46 integration points between the ERP solution and Sana Commerce. But if there's anything more information you want out, anything can be people out, basically. So if there's stuff you want to be projected onto the store itself that is already sat in the ERP, then we can do that. And it's that single source of truth, that single source of the data shared between the two platforms. So basically, changes only need to be made once in the system, and not in both. So just to give you a quick idea of what that's going to look like, I'm just going to switch over to my website. So let me just go into Chrome here. Oh, okay, don't need to go into snipping tool, do we? Let me just open up. So this here is just an example. So this is a Business Central, and this is a product card for a bike that we have in our web store. and we can see that we have attachments that we've got an image and attachment that we've stored in Business Central. So I've got those documents in here that I can manage, and you can see we've added in new columns within here to actually choose if we want these actually visible in the web store or not. So we can see that we can choose whether or not we want them to be visible. And on the product, when you actually go online, then we'll see if we go down to attachments, those attachments are actually visible within the web store. So you can add the attachments in the ERP and they will be visible straight away within here. Also, the attributes of the product itself, we would have those various attributes for filtering and searching on the web store itself. So those attributes can be added in here. And then we can see if we go through things like specifications, those attributes have come down the left-hand side. So when we're doing sort of searching and filtering through the web store itself, then we'll be able to find those from there. And obviously, we don't need to edit them anywhere else. We will just need to edit them in Business Central and add them in, and then they will come through. Which means if you add a new product, for instance, here, if this was bikes, it was a different frame size, a different wheel size, a different color, that attribute would then go through to the web store instead of me thinking I have to manage that in a different place. And you can also choose underneath, it will add in a Sana commerce element into the ERP, and then you can choose whether or not that product is going to be visible or not. So you can just take it out. Now, you might want advanced information. So in here, we may have the attachment and we got the attributes and we have a product name and the product SKU and the price. And these things are the critical data that we're pulling through from the item card into the store itself. But all of the logic and the pricing logic and everything like that is all been pulled through from here. If we're talking about maybe the design elements, we can actually go into the admin area, which I'll show in a bit, and we can change the front end design of that. Okay, so I think that's something that's really key. And the integration, like I said, is live. So if I just went in here and we have a look at, we'll have a look at bikes as a whole. We've got our pricing in here, and we can show that things are in stock. We could show if it's yellow, if it's low on stock, or if it's red, it's out of stock. So we can kind of customize that. And on the left-hand side, that's all the attributes that have come through from the ERP for filtering within here. And then this is kind of a B2C experience that you would have. And this is a typical, I just want to either select the variant so we can manage variants in there, or I just want to add that product to the cart, and that would just add one into the checkout itself. So it's a very sort of, like I said, sort of B2C buying experience where they're adding one product in there. And this pricing is just brought through from the standard generic price from the pricing card in the ERP. And it's really that is what we'd expect from a B2C buyer. They just want to log in. You can restrict stuff back as well. So depending on what you want the B2C buyers to see, you can basically customize different segments for B2C and B2B, depending on what you want to show them. We can see when we go in, we can still do things like volume discount. So I have volume discount enabled within here. And again, that's not logic Sana does, that's dictated by ever what's in Business Central in this example here. And then again, we have variants set up in here as well. So all of this data, I can browse around. And what we tend to find is the most successful stores that we work with will try and get as much information as they can into this experience, thinking what do customers generally ask us? How can we drive adoption of the web store? And a lot of that is by thinking, they always ask this question about this product and this question, let's go and put as much information as we can do in the web store to really start driving that adoption down. But that's a typical B2C, but it's really when we log in from a B2B perspective. So I just log in as Frank, and so Frank, frequent buyer, is this particular customer's name. But when Frank logs in, he can actually see the stock numbers, which are pulled through from Business Central. You can choose to offer that or not offer that. You can still just use in stock, low stock, or out of stock. It really depends on your business. We come across a few customers lately who who sell wine, and you know, the feedback is we don't want to show how many cases or bottles we have in stock of particular wines because customers will just over order them and stockpile them, so they want to limit them down, so they don't actually show them how many they've got in stock, so they can control that. So you can choose how you want that to be shown, but the key thing here is it's actually showing a discount, and it's actually showing the user specific pricing. So any pricing that's now against Frank's card, customer card within the ERP, has been pulled through into the e-commerce solution. So he knows it. If I phone you up, or if I email in asking for a price, or if I'm talking to my account manager, or if I've gone online, I know that this price is the price sitting on the ERP, so it's correct. I think that's something that's really key. But some other things that have changed, rather than just adding to cart, generally B2B customers don't order that way. They would order in bulk. So I can order, you know, boxes and packs of these things, and I can just say, well, I want 50 of those, I want 100 of those, and 50 of those, and then we can just go and add those to the cart, and that would just go and add those in to my shopping cart. Okay, so it's really, really easy to go in, and that's applied all my discount in there. We can also add information into the shopping cart from here. So if I just go and search for a product, I can go and add in from here if I know the SKU, if I want to search the product itself. And what we'll see here, it's just taken out all of the pricing from here, which basically means I can recalculate to get the correct prices, because I might have just triggered an additional discount element or a bulk buy next to my card within the ERP. So it's live pulling through that data, so I know that this price is the right price I'm going to get. And we can do things like save templates. So I can save as a template, load it up later. And again, I could just go and load it in. We can upload CSV or Excel templates if they've got them saved. So if they have all of their SKUs and products in a spreadsheet, we can upload that order, and it would just go and recalculate and look for any price changes against that as well. And we can manage things like quotes and proceed to checkout and things like that from here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to proceed to checkout in this instance, and then we'll go through the relevant steps here. So it will pull through the addresses. So I can deliver for a different address. You can allow customers to enter an address if you wish to. And then I'm just going to go and choose UPS now. So you can choose basically your shipping provider. We're going to do a payment on account, but you can enable PSPs as well through Sana Commerce. So we link with various, basically any sort of payment service provider you want to work with, we can have that through. So we could allow card payments if we wanted to, but I'm just going to do a typical payment on account in this instance. And then our reviews, and I'm just going to put a reference in here. So I'm just going to put Simply D in there, and comments. Actually, no, what my comment in here is going to be, don't leave in the bin, because Amazon lately have been putting everything in our bin when we haven't been here, which is great. So I'm just going to go click through and pay. So that order has now been placed. And if we just pop through back into Business Central, I'm just going to close down that particular product card we were looking at. And if we just go into sales at the top and go through to our sales orders, I'm just going to go search by external document. Depending on how quick my Virgin Media is deciding to run today. As you can see, not great. There you go. So there's our order. It's come straight in. So if I just go and we'll click edit for now, we can see all the order details. If I go through the order and look at the comments, we can see don't leave in the bin has come through. So it's a live link. There's no delay. It's come straight through. And it's obviously it's a two-way thing as well. So if this was a quote, or I needed to make any amendments, I can do that. So I'm just going to change that line discount to 25%. So that one is 5%, and then we can just come back. And then when we go back in to the store itself and go through to the order page, we'll see in here those discount percentages have changed. So we have a live integration between the two solutions. Also, we can do credit limits. So if the customer would have exceeded the credit limit when they place that order, it would actually come up and you can set a warning to say, this is going to take you over your credit limit, please make a payment, and allow them to place the order. Or you could have had an error message where the error message would have just popped up and it wouldn't allow them to place that order either. okay, which is something that's really key. So that's just something I wanted to show you on the integration side of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop back in to our presentation in here, if I can find the thing. So let me just start that back up. Right. So how Sano can benefit you and your customers? I think one of the key things here is increasing trust and loyalty. So I'll go back into it in a second, but we have a self-service area where people can pay invoices, and you can pay multiple invoices at once using any payment method. So you can multiple select, which is a great way of being able to pay online. Completing online and offline quotes and order history. So the My Account section and actually empowering customers for self-service is actually becoming quite a real topic of conversation, and it's leading a lot of customers' e-commerce journey around improving the back-end processes when you have customers phoning in trying to create returns. They want a copy of an invoice or to track an order. You have customers phoning up all the time or talking to their account managers about things like this, where actually we can free up a lot of time just by allowing customers to do that themselves online. And an example that I use, from a general consumer would be the Amazon experience. I can just go onto Amazon and do everything. But the good thing is for you guys, if they need some technical advice, they've still got someone to talk to. But just increasing that trust is key. And the order history and paying online, the look and feel is something. We're actually making some amendments in the future. So future development on the My Account area will allow you to customize the look and feel of the My Account section. So you can add in, different images or basically content elements in there, promotional messages, user-specific information is going to be able to be added in as well. So when we talk about personalization, really making that whole online self-serve experience really personalized. And the storefront I just showed you was on React. So that's a new platform that we launched last September, and it basically works with client-side rendering, which means it will load the relevant images and everything actually on the web page itself when you go in. But if there's things that are loading up in the background, they will load up as and when they're on there. So it's kind of technology that was invented by Facebook, and it means it's a fast interface, and you don't have to wait for a whole page to load. It'll load everything that's ready and then load everything else in the back end as well. So it's a really fast sort of SPA, and with the first B2B commerce solution on the market to actually launch that single page application, really speeding up those load pages as well. And we support SEO best practices for online marketing as well. So we got a really high performing front end shop, which we think is really key. We obviously got your storefront browser and mobile, that look and feel. We're mobile responsive. So if you're using an iPad or a phone or anything like that, then it will all revert back and be nice and clean. However, we are looking into, one of the reasons we also launched the new platform last year was we want to move to more sort of PWAs, which means it's a progressive web app. So you can actually have an app that's designed for all different mobile devices, rather than an app. Now you'd have to have an app on Android, you'd have to have an app on the Apple Store or Windows, whatever it might be. It'll be a single application for everything, like you would Netflix, to really improve that buying experience. So that's the sort of technology we're moving towards as well. And talking about that customer experience and the personalized experience of storefronts, we've put in a new visual designer into the new solution as well. So the ability to drag and drop elements of pages and add those content blocks in, we found really important, because like I said earlier, a lot of customers of ours already, and a lot of customers who we've talked to in the past, the B2B need was the reason why they chose Sana as their solution. But now with the need for cross-channel markets and going into B2C or direct to consumer, the front end look and feel is so key. And one of the things that kind of restricted us in the past was how that admin area looked and felt, and how they could control the front end information, and we'd be able to make it look very vibrant. generally we could do it, but it was a customization, where now with the new product, it's very much out the box functionality. So it's all ready to go. So you can basically, this example here is just showing how we can just go to any message and type in a text and just add content. And especially we've been talking to a few Magento customers who are coming over to us lately. And I think one of the issues they have is every time they want to go and change content like this, they have to basically contact their designer, they have to tell them what they want, and they have to wait for it, and then they get charged for any changes, where now we're actually empowering our customers to really control that front end and personalize the store themselves. It's really nice and easy. It's worked off a 12-column grid system out of the box, so you can basically change how you want each page to be viewed, and we can edit every product page, every product list page, basically every different content page in the whole site can just be dragged and dropped around to really make it look how you want to make it look. So in here, we can just go and paste in a YouTube video on one particular content element to make that look really nice and professional. And when we talk about that kind of personalized experience, in this particular video here, they're just editing a column. So they're making that column there with 3 images on it. And then when they go to edit the row, then they can just go and choose the customer segment, and they're only making that particular row of 3 available for US customers. And you can see there, it just says US customers only. So in the back end, you can really control the look and feel for different customer segments, which you can think about how you're actually going to align those things to your business as well. And just to give you an idea of where that all sits, so obviously all the information is managed within the ERP. However, if we go into Sana Admin, where we can go and expand along those sort of things, so I've got an advanced product description in here. I've got my images, which I can add new images, and I can go and add my content videos and things like that in here as well. You can do that per individual product. But also, if you go to all of the content pages through here, this is every page in my web store here. So I have my home page and my sort of other pages, newsletter pages and things like that. So it's all here. And if I go to my main home screen and hit edit, here I've got my main sort of hero image in here, but we have the ability just to go and edit and just go into column settings and edit the image and choose how you want that borders to look, put any sort of advanced tagging and things in there. So I can just go and click in here, control the text, drag stuff around. You can see every time I highlight over something, I've got the ability just to move these things around. Here we can either move them, move down, move them across. It's just a really nice sort of drag and drop functionality. And a lot of designers we've talked to recently who are used to using things like WordPress have given us really positive feedback how easy we've made the new stores on here to design and just to add in new content elements to each individual page and each individual product page as well. So everything is actually controlled within the Sana admin environment. Okay, which I think is something really key, and we've spent a lot of time working on this. And again, most of the improvements we're looking to make moving forward into the future are all around that kind of a look and feel and what it can do. So the design is a really key element of ours. What you would have seen on the demo I just did, where I actually put things into the basket. We've actually offered a streamlined checkout, so we have an optimized one-page checkout, but it's obviously customizable. It depends how you want it to do, but we've found it can reduce that sort of cart abandonment and really drive sales. And we also have a guest checkout, which can increase conversion rates as well. So you can optimize the checkout depending on your relevant needs. And we can see there, I did the multi-step checkout earlier, where you just go from one down through. But here we have a view of the sort of single page checkout, where everything's all on one page. It's nice, quick and easy, and then they can just go and place the order from there. Empower your customers, enable them to find what they need, which I think is something that's key. They can view their most popular items based on their order history in ERP. So whatever orders they're placing will make it easier to locate all the types of things that they buy. You can also customize that front end content to say, actually, different customers only buy certain things from us, so let's personalize their shopping experience by taking out everything that isn't relevant. And basically we can use that data to predict future orders and suggest sort of relevant product suggestions when they're in the shopping cart or looking at other products and things like that. So it's very much focused around increasing revenue and actually looking at that sort of cross-sell and upsell opportunities as well. Real-time sales support. So we find that if customers are phoning up or they want to ask about their account, or it might be a support call, how do I finalize this order, process a return, you can actually guide customers through that by viewing their specific information. So if you do have account managers or sales agents who are phoning up customers, or eventually when we're allowed going out on the road and visiting customers, they can actually log into the web store and represent the customer and to make sure they've got access to their account section and view all of that as well, which we think is really key. And just to give you an idea, because I don't think I went into that, is while we're in the store itself, I'm still logged in as Frank. But if I go to log out as Frank, I'm just going to log in as a sales agent as in here. And in here, I've got access to the My Account section. So I can go and see all of this customer's orders. So in here, when we go to represent a customer, our sales agent can choose the customer that he's looking after here. Okay, so whatever you've assigned to him, he can go and represent. So if someone phoned or they wanted to check on an order, or I was just going to phone a customer, I just wanted to see the state of their account, I can come and see their last orders in here. We can view the details. If a customer was using it, we have a reorder button, so they could just hit reorder to put everything else in the basket. I could do that as a sales agent if I was just helping them through an order over the phone. I can have a look at the state of their invoices, what's overdue, what is due, and we can view the details. I could just go and download an invoice, and again, we can order from here, check return orders. So basically, it just empowers the sales agents and the customers to have that full self-service area, but the sales agents can use it as a sales tool. And we find you can just have that up on an iPad and actually generate an order for a customer while you're sat with them, knowing that the stock, if it's in stock or out of stock, is correct. The pricing is from the ERP. The order then won't need to be keyed in to Business Central. I can do everything through that nice looking web interface, which again, I think just really does improve that experience. So just going back in. So I think, simplifying that order process is key. Offering self-service, I've just really talked about that, but looking at return requests as well. We pull through the return codes from the ERP, so customers can generate that from there. So they can basically just go on, generate a return from the web store. That will go into the ERP. It has to be authorized, but those RMA requests that are registered with the ERP, and they are all using the business rules in the ERP to trigger those authorizations, which we think is key when we talk about that self-service element. Then we look at the reliability as well, without compromise. The whole thing we want to do with these types of solutions is eliminate errors. And we got high performance stores, offer those feature-rich shopping experiences that we all are used to having in the B2C environment, and obviously making sure that all of the data is up to date, which eliminates those errors. And we can do that, as we've already talked about, because we're using your business critical data already. And if we got a nice looking store and the information is all on there, then hopefully that will lead to an increase in sales, is what we're all trying to achieve. We can do stuff like sales agreements, so we can manage those. If they're in the ERP, then we can pull them through into the web store as well if you need them, and customers can go and view their active ones, or you might set expiry dates on some agreements, and they can actually apply those sales agreements when they're placing orders as well, just to make that experience nice and seamless, doing it through the web store, because typically most web stores can't handle those sales agreements, but we can do that out the box as standard functionality. Accuracy, again, if the orders are going through in real time through the web store and then real time posted in the ERPs, then we don't need to spend time keying in orders and duplicating that data, which will cut down on errors. Don't need to worry about file transfers or anything like that. And like I've already mentioned, all the updated pricing and inventories are immediately displayed in the web store, which basically just eliminates that risk, which will hopefully lead to an increase in trust with customers who want to use the solution, because they can, they know that the calculations are accurate. The pricing strategy are theirs, and you can also control it on customer segments, which will eventually build trust, which is something that, like I said, our customers have built their business on, by ensuring that they receive the pricing they expect as well. And the availability of inventory, we've already shown, can be displayed, cannot be displayed using color indicators. That seamless real-time integration ensures customers are always seeing up-to-date information, and obviously the inventory and stock allocation in the web store can show the relevant stock amounts as well. So we're just trying to, like I said, the whole point of all of this is replicating your offline business by taking your customers online. They would expect everything that they deal with you offline to be through the web store, and that's how Sana can help and exceed expectations of the customers as well. Because we all know, I mean, I started working, in 1999 anyway. That's not when I started working, but I was a retail manager for Dixon's, as far as I think. It's not there anymore. But customers' expectations throughout the years I worked there just went up and up and up and up, and they're very demanding. So we need to make sure that we can actually evolve with those customer requirements as well. So you just need to make sure the business is agile to adapt, because we give you the control over that front end. Obviously that gives you a lot more power to change what customers want, what they want to see, what they need. You're in control rather than relying on outside agencies, and it just allows you to market to different regions, new markets, segments, and launch new brands quickly through the web store itself, and just exceed those customers' growing expectations through adding new types of functionalities. We can support any language and currency. So if you want to launch abroad, or you might already operate abroad, then you can have different stores in different languages with different content. And we've got a really fast launch time on those as well. So you can just basically run multiple stores using the one ERP solution. And those location-based information and content as well can easily be adapted throughout the business. And time efficiency. Saving time with web store management, so the new SPA, better performance, better usability. You can preview all of your content before it goes live, and you can schedule content to go live if you have specific offers as well, to make it easy to plan for future initiatives that you might be wanting to work on. And with the in-page editing concepts, you can really see those changes with that new visual designer we've launched as well. And always up to date. Obviously, Sana Commerce Cloud is a SaaS solution. It's all online. We constantly update it. If it's a standard out-the-box solution, then all of those updates are included, depending on how many customizations you'll need, which means that latest functionality is always there and up to date. And we have various number of Sana apps and add-ons that we integrate with. But if it was a specific integration that you wanted with a PIM, or a PSP, or a configurator that isn't in our standard portfolio, then we can always talk to you about how we can get that working on Sana as well. We have open APIs, so we'll work with any solution out there. And the new architecture we've launched really does make moving towards headless opportunities in the future very exciting. And that is something we're really moving towards. I know that was a lot of data to take in, so I will make these slides available to Simply Dynamics and the team, so they can pass these out directly to you guys. Please feel free, I'm not sure if any questions have come through, but please feel free to reach out to me directly. Just ping me an email, or you can give me a call. But Willie and the team at Simply know a lot about Sana, because we already have a number of active customers, so they'd be more than happy to talk you through our project approach and how we work together. Because Sana is different to mainstream commerce solutions out there, where we have to have the ERP data to run the solution. We work very closely with Simply Dynamics from a project approach to make sure that we can offer you the right solution. If Sana's the right fit for you guys, we will talk about how we can help you. So I've enjoyed talking to you guys today. Again, I know there's a lot of content there, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something new. And I will sign off now and leave you to the rest of your afternoon, and have a nice lunch. And Thank you very much for joining us today.